Hello everyone, thank you for joining this spaces. Today we are speaking with Desmos Network. Uh, we will soon have their team as a speaker. So we'll just wait for a few minutes till they join and then we'll start the conversation. Meanwhile, I'd like to tell you about MetaPath. MetaPath is a Web3 aggregator. We aggregate all things Web3, NFTs, GameFi assets, metaverse assets, cryptocurrencies, and bring them into one place where you can use uh, them to do various things. So if you want to buy, so if you want to buy NFTs from Ethereum, Solana, Polygon, and few other platforms. You can buy all of those NFTs on MetaPath NFT marketplace, and you can buy an NFT on Ethereum with Solana token or with Polygon token. Or anything else. So we have swap as well, where you can swap between 40 different blockchains and 400 plus different cryptocurrencies. Uh, so if you are looking to use Web3, you can use the MetaPath products. We have AI aspect to the products as well, so you can check out which are the best NFTs for you, which are the best NFT collections for you. If you are a ChatGPT premium user, you can go and go to ChatGPT, select the MetaPath plugin, and do your research around NFTs, do your research around uh, cryptocurrencies and tokens. What you can do is, let's say you want to find a collection that has the most volume in the last 6 months but has the lowest flow price. You can go to that plugin and ask that question, so you don't have to put in a lot of data to find those type of answers. So if you are a ChatGPT premium user, go ahead and try our MetaPath plugin. We have few threads on Twitter as well that you can follow to do that. Now we will just get our speaker here. I think there is some connection issue. We'll see if we can get Lorenzo back.
Having some troubles.
Yeah. Now we can hear. We can
Okay,
hear you.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Please go ahead.
I had a problem with Wi-Fi probably. So I was saying that in 2019 I approached the blockchain out of personal interest, and after a few years of experiment, during 2022 I joined the Desmos team. In the last period, I focused mainly on the business development and of the relations with the developers who interface with our protocol. I have been attending for 3 years in a row the Cosmoverse conference. So the first Cosmoverse was in Lisbon, the second in Medellin, and this year was in Turkey. So that's how I ended in Desmos Network.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering that. What was the inspiration behind creation of the Desmos network, and how does it aim to reshape the landscape of social media through blockchain?
Well, so start from the begin because Desmos was a branch of Forbol, which is a very big proof of stake validator back in 2019. And Forbol is a big contributor to the Cosmos ecosystem. So we were recently recognized as the second largest ecosystem contributor by the Interchain Foundation. And so Forbol is the main Desmos contributor. They kickstarted the development by funding the project and building the core team. And the code base is open source, so anyone is able to contribute to the Desmos expansion. And the idea of Desmos came mainly because of the censorship in Asia when it comes to social networking. And Desmos Network is a product where a lot of people have worked and contributed over the last 4 years. And Currently, the Desmos team has many people from all over the world working together to grow from all points of view, from the technical to the marketing. And some people of the team, such as the CTO, are very experienced in the blockchain panorama and contributed actively to the Cosmos SDK during the years. So, to talk about the reshaping of the social media landscape, we can say that the conventional business model of the social networks necessitates to treat users as commodities. So each post on social media carries both immediate and enduring consequences in real life. And the addition of personal data to these platforms provide the platform with a license to profit under concealed terms of service. So this dynamic gives rights to various issues extending beyond financial concerns, including privacy breaches and global censorship due to centralized control over all the published content on social media. So to address these challenges, a fundamental transformation of the social network business model is, I would say, imperative. And this is why Desmos Network was born. Using the blockchain technology to develop a distributed platform could be the perfect solution to reverse this trend in order to incentivize the content creators to share new content and to distribute the revenues equally between the owners and the users, and excluding a predominant entity such as the current social networks. So many concepts as trust, accountability, immutability, and transparency have the potential to bring major changes when we talk about social media.
Thank you so much for answering that. So, we know Desmos Network is a blockchain in itself. So, how is it unique and different from other L1s out there? What are some of the unique features and benefits? Uh, I saw on your website that you are saying that there is a low latency, there is a low cost of operation. Can you share a bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So I will say that the strength, accepting the low latency and low cost operations, which are part of our Cosmos SDK, I will say that the strengths of the protocol definitely lie in the design of the Desmos architecture. The features and the tools that we have designed to make the work of developers as easy as possible, and also to achieve a product with high flexibility and interoperability. So Desmos Core is the set of modules that represent the features of a decentralized social network, such as profile, posts, relationships, and these models can be used to develop a social platform from scratch, or also to integrate one or more social features within an existing platform. So this allows any developer to include any decentralized feature in their project by simply building the front end and using our modules. So in addition, with the Desmos profile, which is our decentralized identity, which is working such as the Google single sign-on, but in a decentralized manner because no personal data is required and works like a social graph. So another great benefit of the project is that Desmos can also use the horizontal scalability of Cosmos because it's inherited from the IDC, which is the Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol. And it is possible to create several blockchains that execute the same code and connect them to each other, thus increasing the throughput of operations. So with this feature, an ideally infinite number of operations could be handled in the future. So I would say every each social blockchain project has its own features, but we designed and developed Desmos to be as efficient and as simple as possible because we want to bring blockchain benefits to anyone.
So you talked about the security. So how does Desmos ensure the security and sandbox and environment for executing smart contracts on its platform?
So our test environment in the Desmos is the Desmos testnet, which is called Morpheus Apollo. And all the features that we design internally for the protocol must first go through the testnet in order to be deployed later in the mainnet. So prior to any deployment in the mainnet, the testnet is used as a testing environment or a sandbox for smart contracts. However, our mainnet is permissionless, so everyone can load a smart contract and instantiate it. It's then up to the users to decide whether or not to execute it. We decided to give as much freedom as possible to developers to experiment. We think it's a fair trade-off to make that most convenient for developers.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, developers are the gold of the blockchain, right? You
Mm-hmm.
need developers to build things to have your revenue models start kicking in, and for the gas fees and everything. So I saw that you have a token called DSM, and as an L1, it is assumed that there is a token, and your business model can be a transaction fees for that token. Um, but is there any other role of DSM in your ecosystem? Uh, what are some other roles apart from transactions? Or how can transactions help you kick off revenue model? Can you share more about DSM in your ecosystem?
Yeah, sure. DSM is our main token. And as in many other Cosmos SDK based chain, the DSM is used to reward validators and the stakers for securing the network, as well as for paying transaction fees. Furthermore, each platform that is built on the top of Desmos network can later on introduce its custom tokenomics with smart contracts that run custom logic or any kind of additional layer they prefer. And for example, someone can build a tokenomics that it rewards users with some DSM whenever they receive a fixed amount of likes on one of their posts. This was an example. So if we think about the possible amount of transaction that can be achieved within a social network, the premises are indeed good. The more the use case of the token increase, the more value it can take over time. So the token will also be a great incentive for content creators using platforms built on the top of Desmos. And so the more the value of the token grows in the future, the more reward earners through the use of the platform, including the advertising, the promotions, or any kind of profitable feature, will have the opportunity to earn money in the long run without being afraid of middlemen holding back the profits, such as Instagram or Facebook, because the distribution of the revenues is not fair. So we have also opened a new supercharged pool on Osmosis with more than 500K of USD in liquidity. That has greatly reduced the price impact for buy and trade DSM. So anyone who now wants to buy the token can do it without spending matching fees. So I would say that DSM is essential for not only the features of the social networks, but also for the revenue models of the content creators and of the users themselves.
Awesome. So it's good to see a token with lots of utility and not just being used as a transaction phase uh, and hurdle to get the apps rolling, but for content creators to be paid um, and things like that. So it's really good to see a token with a lot of utility. So I visited your ecosystem page on your website, and there are lots of projects in there, and I researched some of them. They look really cool. So what are some of your ecosystem projects that you are very proud of, and if you would like to share about them to the audience?
Okay, so actually we have many projects. on the Desmos ecosystem. And there is GoFindMe, which was developed to manage the Desmos profile for the airdrop. We have Desmos Profile Manager, which allows the users to create their profile and stake their DSM. So there is Scripta, which is a web application that was developed from a validator because one of our validators called GStake applied for a grant back in 2021 to develop a sort of decentralized medium, I would say. So Scripta was developed by this validator called GStake, and the work on Scripta, despite being a bit immature at the product level, has helped us a lot to understand what kind of issues are encountered using the protocol, and helped us to develop solutions so that we can better proceed with the new products we are developing. And we could see this at the first real application released on Desmos, and it was a key experiment in order to grow in the right way. Then there is Butter. Butter is not released yet. Is the social network that we have been working internally. Is a very complex product, and it's where we have focused most of our resources between 2022 and 2023. So we could describe it as a true decentralized social network. What we didn't realize when we started developing Butter was that it was too big and ambitious as a project to be like the first product on Desmos. And in a short time, we realized that we were putting too many irons in the fire. So we decided to start a parallel project called Bondscape. And Butter was a fundamental experience because it allowed us to understand how to better implement every single module that is part of the Desmos core within an application. And during this month, however, Butter has not been left aside, and we are going to release it very soon, not only as an application, but as a template for developers, so they will be able to use it as a template to develop their own decentralized application. And then I will say there is Bondscape, which is our brand new mobile application for Android and iOS. We still have to announce it, but it's already released on the App Store and on Google Play. We at the cross-metaverse 2023 in September, we collected a lot of feedback from the other blockchain and Cosmos teams. It was essential to understand the main features and problems of Bondscape. And Bondscape is a hybrid real-life online decentralized social networks. It's designed to revolutionize the event experience. It facilitates the organization of all types of events and fosters a lasting connection among attendees. So Bondscape provides a platform where users can create, trade, and own event-related memories encapsulated in NFTs. It offers a user-friendly solution for event personalization, deep audience engagement, and long-term memory ownership. So we can think at Bondscape such as a decentralized version of Eventbrite or Luma. And then there are many other projects that are being developed right now. Some have gotten Kickstart from us. We have the Desmos Kickstart program, where teams can apply to receive a Kickstart to start their own project. And we started a new Kickstart this week with a new team focusing on the gaming industry. I'm really happy to say it. And they are very popular in Asia. They already have a game in China. And so, yeah, the good thing is that we're getting more and more positive feedback from developers and people working in the blockchain field.
Yeah, thank you so much for answering that. And as a developer myself, I'm really glad to hear all the projects that are building. Now, I have a few questions as a developer. So, can you explain some of the tools that you have, APIs, and developer resources that Desmos provides? Uh, how are you helping different projects build on your network, deploy and manage decentralized applications? How are you helping developers when they come to you?
Okay, sure. So as we were saying before, the strength of the Desmos protocol definitely lie in the design of the Desmos core architecture. The features and the tools that we have designed to make the work of developers as easy as possible and to achieve a product with high flexibility and interoperability. So there is Desmos SDK. SDK stands for Software Development Kit, to identify the set of tools that we make available for developers. These tools I'm going to enter a little bit more in detail. There is DJuno, which is a Desmos Network blockchain data aggregator and exporter that provides the ability for developers and clients to query for indexed data chain. And it extends the custom Juno behavior with custom messages handler for all the Desmos messages. Then there is Desmos.js, which is a TypeScript library that allows interaction with the Desmos chain. It is basically used by those involved in developing an application in the front-end part, and is constantly being updated to make interaction easier and easier. There is the GraphQL endpoint. So it's the most effective way to query data from the Desmos chain. And the GraphQL endpoint is different from the classic methods because offer high possibilities of customization for developers based on their needs on the data to query. There are the Desmos bindings. The Desmos bindings are the COSM-WASM bindings packages that allows the interaction with the Desmos chain features from smart contracts. So this means that the Desmos bindings allows developers to use their own smart contracts inside the Desmos chain. So if they think of a custom feature that is not implemented inside Desmos core, they can integrate it with Desmos bindings. And then there is Kairos. Kairos is a centralized server designed to gather various useful features for developers creating application on Desmos. These features include requesting fee grants for onboarding new users, which is essential especially when we talk about social network, because developers most of the time want to grant fees for the users, so users don't have to care about the fees. Sending notification to end clients, which is essential in mobile social networks. Uploading files to IPFS and creating associated placeholders. And generating deep links supported by official application released by Desmos, such as Desmos Profile Manager. So this tool called Kairos is very strong and is very useful to make the developer's life as easy as possible. So these are the main tools for Desmos, I would say.
Awesome. It's really exciting to hear that information. Decentralized identities are something that are very important, and I feel that are going to be very important in future. So, how does Desmos facilitates the creation and management of decentralized identity for the ecosystem?
Let's say that we launched the Desmos mainnet back in 2021, and the initial feature we introduced was known as the Desmos profile. So the Desmos profile is a decentralized anonymous identity operating across various blockchain through the Cosmos SDK. So you can think of the Desmos profile as a fusion of the Google single sign-on with the blockchain technology, offering a new method for Web3 identification without relying on centralized authority verification. So beyond this, Desmos profile facilitates the login experience for users across all platforms built on the top of Desmos, bringing the idea of a portable social graph. So users can easily create their profile using the mobile application Desmos Profile Manager, which is released on the App Store and Google Play, the Desmos profile includes a nickname, a profile picture, a cover, and a bio, which is stored inside the blockchain. And the Desmos profile possesses the ability to be linked to different type of decentralized or centralized applications. So allowing for the verification of account ownership. This application can be YouTube, Twitter, but also other blockchains such as Solana, Ethereum, and so on. So the Desmos profiles also doubles as a DSM native wallet, enabling users to manage their tokens. In this way, anyone who decides to develop an app on Desmos can easily integrate the Desmos profile, and this will have a positive effect on both the users because they will have the ability to use the same profile for multiple apps and keep their friends because it's a portable social graph. And also for the developers because they can integrate a module that has already been developed and requires very little work to use. So yeah, this is our conception of decentralized identity, and I think it's working very good right now.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. So, your Twitter profile says Cosmos SDK base layer one blockchain to build decentralized social networks. Now, I would love to know what are some core features and functionality you provide as a blockchain for decentralized social networks.
Okay, great. So we identify Desmos core as the set of modules that represent the features of Desmos. And these modules can be used together to develop a social platform from scratch, but can use also together to integrate one or more social features within an existing platform. So this allows any developer to include any decentralized feature in their project by simply building the front end and using our modules. So in addition, anyone with a Desmos profile will be able to use it to log in within any application created on the top of Desmos. So this is why I was saying that it's working such as the Google single sign-on. When we talk about these Desmos core modules, this is the list of the modules that we have right now. There is the profile module, which allows the creation and the management of an on-chain social profile that can be connected to external chains and services. There is the post module, which allows the creation and the management of on-chain contents in the form of posts that can be enriched with different kind of data. We can think at posts on Facebook or like the feed on Instagram. There is the reactions module that gives the possibility to react to the content and to customize the reactions experience for an application. There is the relationships module that allows the Desmos users to establish relationships between them and also to block misbehaving users from harassing them in the future. So this is the portable social graph part. There is the report module, which handles the creation and management of a content moderation system toward content and users. There is the subspace module, which allows the users to create and manage the representation of social networks inside which the contents will be created. So the subspaces is the place in the blockchain where the mobile applications live. And then there is the token factory module that allows the subspace admins to create new token denominations that can later be used as fee tokens inside the subspace. This is what I was saying before. So new application on the top of Desmos are now able to create their token and to use it inside their own application. And this token will also work through a burn mechanism using DSM. So this is the set of feature we designed, and every year we are improving with new features and new ideas.
Yeah, it's really good to hear that. There is a specialized chain to build social network applications. So yeah, that's really awesome to hear. Now, as a developer and as a community member, uh, how can I contribute to the Desmos and Desmos community? What are some actions that you would like me to take? And if I'm running, let's say, a Desmos mainnet validator, what are the incentives for that?
Okay, so anyone is free to contribute to the Desmos ecosystem through our channels and repositories. So first of all, I would like to invite all the listeners to join our official Discord server, where anyone is free to discuss, ask questions about the protocol, the developments, the tokenomics. You can just join and also read the contents. And beside that, we also have a Telegram channel, a Medium and a Scripta page, a Twitter page, and all the GitHub repositories where our code resides are open source. So developers who want to contribute, so as developers, can contact us and we can discuss together the next features to be developed. And but let's say that our code is open source, so anyone interested in contributing to the code can also open a pull request. And users who want to participate, so as users, can already do it using Bondscape, which is our new application on App Store and iOS. They can find the link inside our Twitter profile. And as for validators, on the other hand, anyone is free to run their own node and to get commission from the staking rewards. Of course, we have incentives for validators. So we have a delegation plan dedicated to all those validators who contributed to improve the Desmos ecosystem over time with infrastructure, projects, community, and much more. So every 6 months, the window of the delegation plan is reopened in case any validator has new contributions, or in the case there are new validators to the Desmos ecosystem, and they can apply to get a delegation from the Desmos Foundation.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering that. I have pinned few tweets about Desmos. You can go check out their profile, follow them on Twitter, join Discord, and wherever you want to follow them. Yeah, so thank you so much for answering that. Now, there are lots of blockchains, right? I mean, we are seeing more and more blockchains every day. Uh, what are some of the challenges that you see? And I know Desmos is specializing in social networks. So, what are some of the challenges you see in adoption of blockchains in building social networks, and how are you planning on tackling these challenges?
So the biggest challenge to win when we talk about the adoption of blockchain technology in the social networking panorama is the usability right now. So until there are not products that compete in terms of usability with centralized products, it will be very difficult to fight the current market. So user experience is most important when it comes to the applications developed on blockchain, because this can be slow or complicated and should be fast and easy. So we ourselves, as Desmos, are developing many social network applications, and we studied a lot to make them as fast and easy as possible using technologies such as optimistic UIs, optimistic APIs, and we built the tools I was talking about before to help us. And blockchain is an amazing technology, but at the same time is very complicated. So we need to keep working to make it as accessible as possible. I will say now are at a good point, and we have noticed how much our products have improved over time, and we're confident that we will soon have products like at the cutting edge of technology. Because first you face the problem, and then you find the solution. Uh, any team working on blockchain, especially in the social networking panorama, must always put a lot of emphasis on the UI and the UX. I will say it's very, very important and will be the next challenge.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I always say is Web3 does lack a good user experience. Like people are habited to spending like just 10-15 seconds when they are starting to use a Web2 application or a mobile application. They are just, it's so easy for them to get onboarded, even if the applications are taking so much information from so much of the information. You can just click like Google and sign in. I know you have similar features. uh, yeah, it's really important to build good user experience and user interfaces for the audience if we want to see Web3 being widely adopted. Thank you so much for saying that. Now, what are your future visions? What are some of your long-term goals? And uh, is there anything exciting coming on the roadmap that we should know?
Okay, so if we talk about in terms of roadmap, we are going to attend to the India Blockchain Week very soon. It's going to be the first 10 days of December. And in Bangalore, I will meet a lot of interesting people and teams that we already know and that we have been working on with the Desmos product. And after that, we're going to release I will say announce because it's already released Bondscape, which is the event management application I was talking about before. And then at the end of the year, we're going to release Butter as a mobile social network and as a template for developer. This is the end of the roadmap for 2023. And I will say that after the first years of the project's life, I would say maybe the first 3 years, we spent much time focusing on developing the protocol features. Uh, so for the medium term, I will say that the main goal is to have working products that can show the potential of the Desmos protocol. It's critical to get to the end users and give them products with good performances that are not just prototype like we are used to see, and where they can really benefit from. And instead, for the long term, the goal is aimed toward the development teams for the developers and the companies to get them interested in the Desmos protocol. Our goal is to give rise to a whole new ecosystem where developers can create cutting-edge social networks and where users are no longer victim of social network deception.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering that. I will be at the India Blockchain Week as well, so hope we
Oh,
can,
great.
uh, you know, have a drink together here at IBW. It's really good to hear from you, Lorenzo. We learned a lot about Desmos Network and what you guys are building in terms of social networks and helping building decentralized social networks. Thank you for joining the species and sharing all the things with us. It was a pleasure hearing from you.
Thank you, thank you. I'm really happy to be here. I love talking about Desmos Network. And if you have any question, you can also DM me or join our Discord server. It will be great. We just love to talk to people about their ideas, on what they think about the protocol. If they want to give us feedbacks, is perfect. So you're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much. To everyone, we have a giveaway going on right now. We will announce the giveaway winners very soon. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for joining the Twitter Spaces today. If you are listening on live or listening later on YouTube, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Lorenzo, for coming and sharing about Desmos Network. We will see everyone till next time.